Welcome in Digital Minds podcast. Today's episode is upskilling, career tech path. So I have this incredible guest with me. It's Katarzyna. Katarzyna is the lead software engineer, and she's leading this incredible organization, which is Digital Hub in Warsaw. Katarzyna, as you probably know, you are one of the very few women who decided to be on top of this huge organization and leading technology. As you probably know, only 15% of women are actually working in technology and working in technological as engineers. So this is a quite big gap, which is very difficult to fulfill. And I'm very happy that actually we have Katarzyna who can tell me what happened, why you are in technology, and tell me about your beginning and this continuous growth you are actually doing at the moment. So drive me from the beginning. How did it become that you decided to be a technological expert, and actually what was your education and actually your ambitions from beginning?
Mm-hmm. So I work in IT for around 12, 13 years. So during that years, I had many roles. I started.
But what was your education? Why you decided to be in technology as a woman? You could be in humanities, you could go to marketing, but you went to engineering.
I think that for me, the engineering part was not the most important aspect. I think that the building aspect was something that was the most important. I think that I've been always into creating new things, into innovation, and having this kind of feeling that I am actually creating something tangible. That was
so you have the impact. Actually, you see what you build.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that if I wouldn't be an engineer, I would be probably into architecture or some kind of building roles. And my education is more related to business and innovation. However, it's also like a innovation within technical field. So I wouldn't say that I'm one of like a huge career switches, but for sure, for me, like those beginnings, I had to somehow catch up with the technology background, like this kind of deep technology. But once I started to work as an engineer, which was around 13 years ago, then I really understood that this is something for me, because I really like working also on some very concrete problems and actually solving problems, but also having this kind of opportunity to be, in the flow of working. So for me, the like this kind of technical problems, it always gave me a feeling of flow when I work on that, and it still does. It's not the same like at the beginning, but it still does.
But you mentioned you were here with the organization. You work as a tech-led lead for 13 years, and you mentioned you had many different roles. Tell me about the roles and how did you switch to these roles? Mm-hmm. And did you have to upskill for make this change? How actually did that you actually succeeded to have the switch?
Mm-hmm. So I am working as a lead engineer for around 2 years. So before that, I had different level of let's say engineering roles, from junior engineer.
Mm-hmm. So you started as a junior engineer.
Yes, exactly. So I just went through this kind of standard career ladder, I would say. But I think that it's, for me, like a very significant moment in my career was around, I would say, 5 years ago, when I was on this kind of mid-level
So from junior
role.
You went to mid?
Yes, from junior I went to mid, from mid I went to senior, and from senior I went to lead developer.
Right.
Yes, and those roles, they have different names, but I guess that the, like
so
the
what happened 5 years ago? What actually made this major
So
boost?
I think that this is a moment that I think that for a lot of people in IT, and I would say especially for women, it's a very crucial moment when they actually realize that they already know a lot, and they are actually making probably good money, so they could stay on this level. Mm-hmm. It would be okay, right? And for some people it is okay.
You are already at the comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that this is a moment when you feel that you are in this comfort zone, and then you have to make a decision whether you want to, for example, change jobs, because in IT that also often means promotion, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a decision when if someone should change job, or if someone would just look for a new assignment. So for me, I had this kind of ambition because I think that it's like my kind of a personality trait, that I get bored easily. So I just couldn't
Okay, so
imagine.
because you mentioned you want to do innovation, you want to create things. So obviously,
exactly.
in your Gallup talent, you probably have innovator, you have animator, someone who's doing.
Yes.
So what was the trigger? 5 years ago, you decided that you want to change. What happened? Before we saying you are in comfort zone, you say either I'm going to stay or I like to build and grow.
I think that it was also a way to prove myself that I can, right? So and of course, like I didn't assume that I would be successful. And I think that for a lot of people is I think it's like this feeling that you are not enough or you don't know enough or that, I don't know, you will make fool of yourself. This is like a part of, I think, every career. So it also was part of my career. But I think that I just wanted to check whether I will be, I don't know, I would be good in that. I think that I don't know, I like to somehow prove myself in this kind of male-dominated areas. I also ride on road bikes. It's like a very male-dominated area.
Okay, so your whole personality is actually...
I mean, like big part, I would say.
Okay.
Maybe not whole, but a big part. So I wanted to check whether I will be successful. And I think that it's enough just to you know, like have this kind of mindset that I will take a risk. Right.
Okay, so you are in comfort zone. At 5 years ago, say, okay, I'm bored. I want to change. Let's try it. So what did you do actually?
At that point, I went more into the infrastructure, architecture areas of IT.
Did you have to learn new skills?
Yes. I had to finish a number of courses. I was attending meetups or conferences at that time.
But did you kind of create it path by yourself, or did you speak to your managers? How did you decide what actually has to be done to achieve this position?
I think that it was both. So it was creating some kind of plan for myself, but also talking to people, asking them like, how can I, like, what do I have to know more to, for example, make a decision about the architecture of some bigger software, right? So it was like probably this kind of mindset of searching, creating some kind of
and investing in growing.
And investing time, of course, because I guess that it's also something that is challenging, and I won't say that this is easy to find, for example, additional hour or two a day to I don't know, finish some courses or like do something additional in my work, like do
instead of watching Netflix, you basically spend all doing learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Courses.
Instead of Netflix, I watched Cloud Guru probably. But I guess that it's so like having a plan for upskilling, it's very important, but I would say like also having a mindset is even more important, of having this kind of mindset that if, for example, someone is asking or looking for some people to a new initiative, it's just good to have this mindset that exactly, like I will take part even though I don't know everything, just to be proactive and responsive to opportunities. So
okay, so obviously you made a decision, you invested your time, you made a good plan. So decision, good plan, and then actually searching for right moments to take this another opportunity to actually implement what you learned. And that was enough? That was enough to get this new career path, or is there anything else you think is important in that journey?
Well, I would say that's already a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so, and I would say that it's also a bit of a luck, because I think that sometimes you might have a plan that, for example, if you go to this organization, like some very prestigious company, like your career will somehow, I don't know, blow, right? But it's not always the case. So I think that it's also I guess that in every initiative in life, there has to be some luck. So, for example, meeting people who want to support you in your career, maybe finding yourself on the team that is very supportive, or just have a very good technical challenges. So I would say that to all of I listed before, and like what you mentioned, I think that always like a bit of luck is, you know, like this, like a cherry on the top.
Right. And did you apply for this new position after when you finished the courses, you had this kind of experience because you mentioned you raised your hand to drive some kind of implementation. Did you have to apply for this new position to prove yourself that you actually have this capabilities and the skills to be in this new role?
I think that I didn't have to apply in a formal way, and I think that this is also something that is very good about working in IT, that I think that those, and also in Bayer, like there are some formal paths of changing a role, of being promoted, but I guess that even apart from those formal like directions, right, like there is a lot of opportunities of just getting involved in some project that requires more knowledge, more responsibilities. So at that time, what I mentioned, it wasn't like, for example, a formal promotion, but more a decision to change a field. So at that time, for me, it was working more with AWS infrastructure topics. So it wasn't even a promotion, right? Like in a sense that
it was very natural, basically transfer.
Yeah, it was like a transfer to another field, what they call, I think, like a horizontal promotion, right? So yeah, at that time for me it was just a change, not really any kind of formal changing of role. But I guess that it's in general something that helps just to have this kind of like a readiness to go to the other field. And also here in Bayer, I've been already on a few teams. Like all of them are in a similar area of crop science, but they like they build very different projects. So
you're not bored anymore?
No, I'm not bored, not at all.
So in terms of this amazing upskilling career you did, and you actually invest in your time, you, as you mentioned, you made the decision, you created a plan, you made the execution, you apply what you learn. Is there anything you think you could do as a lesson learned? You can transfer your experience to some, in terms of what could you do better, or actually how this process could be speed up? How actually others can learn from you and to actually go with that flow? Is there anything you'd like to add, or you think I could do better, or I could have better maybe support from the organization? What is your learning from that whole program of your upskilling career? Upskilling to the career change.
Yeah, so one thing what I probably mentioned briefly is that it doesn't, like, you shouldn't wait for a right moment, because
if you already think, don't go out from your comfort
zone. And another is, and I would say that this is probably some kind of maybe cultural thing about maybe people from Poland, is that I guess that, like, what I think was stopping me was that I was waiting for someone to ask me. So for example, like, do you want to take part in this initiative? And then I would say, yes, I can, right? But what is more important, I would say, is that, like, it doesn't make sense to wait until someone asks, right? Like, you have to be proactive, because...
So you have to actually take your own active role by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Don't wait for people asking whether you will, go with that. So don't wait for invitations.
So, don't wait in terms of making decisions that you want to grow. Don't wait for the invitation to actually take the control. What else? Third one.
And I would also say that having this kind of open mindset and curiosity, and this is something maybe a bit, contrary to having a strict plan. Because I guess that when people have this kind of mindset that I have to do this, and then after 1 year I have to do that, I guess that it's very easy to get demotivated, because then you see that things are not going my way, right? And I guess that it's important to have this open mindset that, okay, this is not something that is working for me. I'm maybe not great in that role, but hey, there is some other role and I can try that. So I would say that it's good to be consistent, but also not strict, and having this kind of open mindset usually is very helpful.
But do you think that working in Bayer is something unique, that you have this possibility to grow, to doing this upskilling to career path? Do you think the other organization provided this kind of opportunities?
I think that organizations are different, and what I can say from my experience is that Bayer, and like especially this area where I am working currently, so this is the crop science, I would say that we have this kind of culture that gives a lot of responsibility to engineering teams. And for some people, it might be scary at the beginning, because responsibility means that you have freedom, but you also have, you have to face the consequences of the bad technical decisions. So I would say that this is something that is great for people who want to grow, because I feel like I don't need to ask a lot of people if I want to, for example, redesign the application, or I can actually suggest a different solution to a problem.
You have much more freedom, and you can
and responsibility.
But also, as you mentioned, you can innovate. Which is crucial.
Yes, exactly. So
you have the impact.
So it's about ownership, basically. So I guess that this is also one of the values of Barrier, but for sure this is something that can be really experienced. So for engineering teams, when they have when they build product, when they maintain product, they really own that, meaning that they can suggest some kind of improvements, but then again, they have to be proactive, right? Because it's always about being proactive.
Kasia, last question. Hopefully there are women who are listening to this podcast. What is your message? Why do you think that more women should go into this kind of path as you did, to upskill, to reskill, to technology? Why you think it's a right place? Is it the right place to be? And why do you think, from a woman perspective, we should be actually active and actually get out from the comfort zone and quickly adapt, as you mentioned, as you just did?
So I think that this field in general, like IT and some kind of like a technical field, is just such a huge area, and it will be even bigger in the future. So I would say that it's not only about some very strict technical topics that maybe for some people, for some women, men, they might be not interesting because they think that they are not into math or something. But this field is just so huge that I think that for a big group of people, they would find something that would be interesting and that would somehow use their talents, right? So I would say that the message is don't think that you need to be super technical to be in IT.
Okay, so you're inviting more women to join with your organization.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Kasia.
Thank you.